Avengers Doomsday trailer. Why do we?
The Avengers Doomsday first teaser trailer is here. One of 4 we've been hearing, and this teaser has already gotten more likes than the Avengers Infinity War trailer got on X. So whether or not you agree with Captain America returning, specifically Steve Rogers Captain America returning, people do seem to like it, or are at least very excited for Avengers Doomsday. Now, we're going to break down everything you need to know about this trailer, including a lot of reports that explain why Captain America, Steve Rogers, is returning, and why Dr. Doom is specifically after him and other people in this movie, in this upcoming Avengers movie, which is so great to say. We finally have our first trailer. Let me know what you thought about it, and please let me know what you think specifically about Steve Rogers returning, Chris Evans returning. The Russo brothers, in their post on Instagram, when they posted the trailer, said that it was always going to come back to this. I don't know about that. Maybe that was always their plan, but we know that Marvel Studios went through a bit of a rough patch with Phase 4 and Phase 5, basically after Endgame. It looked like they had one plan, and then that plan kind of got derailed with Kang and Jonathan Majors. Plus, they were forced to do a lot of projects.
They should have just kept. I don't know why they did that, bro. You had a great villain, great actor, great setup with Loki. I don't know.
It's because of Disney Plus. They were kind of at their limit. So I don't know if it was always really supposed to come back to this point, but it does seem like the Russo brothers have it all mapped out, and Avengers Doomsday is going to be truly awesome. Now, we do know that 2 of the main characters are going to be Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom and Chris Evans's Captain America. That is why we are getting the first teaser for Chris Evans. They are showing us, hey, he's going to be one of the main characters of the movie. He is going to be incredibly important. So what they're showing us here in this trailer is basically what happened right after Endgame, plus I would assume at least a year into the future, maybe even more, and I'll explain what I mean here. In this trailer, we see Steve Rogers riding back to Peggy Carter's house on his Triumph motorcycle. Steve Rogers loves motorcycles. That's been established in the comics and in the MCU. Now, it has been pointed out by some people online that this specific model of Triumph, the engine wasn't actually made until kind of 2008, 2009. This might be a different scene, but it is an alternate universe, which the Russo brothers have confirmed. I know the writers for Infinity War and Endgame, Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely, said that they believe that Steve has always been in the main MCU timeline, but the Russo brothers said otherwise. So as far as
I remember that when that happened. So after the Endgame, there was so much debate, debacle, like what happened. What is the alternate universe, alternate timeline, or he's just in the main universe? So now they say the writers, he's in the main universe, and then Russo brothers said no, he's in alternate timeline. So even the niggas breaking this shit didn't even we're not on the same page.
Steve has not been in the main MCU timeline 616 this entire time in the background. He should be in a new, completely different timeline, and we'll get to that a little bit more in just a bit. But he shows up in true Captain America form. I assume this is the first time that he actually goes back in time. He returns all of the Infinity Stones and decides, you know what? I want to see Peggy again. And then probably from there decides, you know what? I'm staying. So this is him walking up to Peggy's house. And I had to really stop and examine the frames here because I thought this might have been Dr. Doom walking up to the house. It does by all means seem to be Captain America, Steve Rogers. Now, here's an interesting scene, though.
Holy shit, we're back. We're back. Oh, like 2017, like Endgame 2018, but we're back. We're fucking back.
He goes into the house.
I'm gonna be every step of the fucking way.
We see him walking up to the house, and the next thing we see is him actually putting away his Captain America uniform. I know some people have said he's not putting it away, he's taking it out. But if you look very closely and you freeze it, you can actually see that his clothes are on kind of a shelf or a bench here. You can see the helmet in the background as well. He's actually picking them up and putting them in the box. As you can see, he's not taking them out of the box here. We can see the edge of the box. He's putting it in the box. So this part right here is him kind of retiring that Captain America in this universe, which makes you wonder, did he actually do things?
Very important story is deadass after Endgame.
In this universe. Did he show up to this universe and just be Captain America in this universe? Because you have to think about it, he knows a lot. Would he do things like prevent Thanos from snapping half of the universe away. If he didn't prevent Thanos from doing that and those events occurred the same, did he get snapped in this universe? It's also way forward in time, so I don't actually think you have to worry about things like that. But we do have that bench scene from Captain America, where he is Old Man Cap and he's lived through everything. So, did he stop Thanos? Or did he give somebody hints to stop Thanos? Did he help Bucky in the beginning?
Did he stop Thanos? The fuck?
Have to wonder what he did, but it does seem like he did some things as Captain America, and now he's retiring the suit. He is retiring himself as Captain America to be a father, which is the next scene that we see. This is very important for many reasons. One, it shows us that Cap does kind of get a happy ending. Now, we don't know what he has to go through to get that happy ending, because some people say that, well, you know, I don't like Steve Rogers returning because this erases his happy ending. Well, you know, we don't really know what he went through after he went back. He could have went through a lot of stuff, and we're just going to see him do all of that stuff. One of the biggest questions I have is Old Man Cap at the end of Avengers Endgame.
That asked, because at a point he was even say, how the fuck did he return to Infinity Stones? It's so interesting. People were like, he could have dropped like a Disney Plus, because Disney Plus was so a baby at the time. So they could drop a Disney Plus series, you know, like every episode, that 1 hour him return to stones after the word. That's pretty tough. Or just leave the story like that. It's more iconic. So that's what I did.
A Captain America who has already
until now
been through Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. If everything kind of stays intact, then you would have to say yes. He is simply giving Captain America's shield to Sam, but he got the shield from Sam by going back to do Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. It's kind of a paradox here, but based on what Marvel has said, that would have to be the case. This Captain America has been through Avengers Doomsday and been through Avengers Secret Wars, but here's the issue. By all means, we believe and seem to know that Avengers Doomsday is going to end with the destruction of the multiverse. Marvel has been setting this up in many different projects. They have specifically explained to us what incursions are. They have explained that if you go into a different universe, it leaves a
Doctor
bad
Strange
footprint
Multiverse of
and
Madness.
it destabilizes and
go watch Multiverse of Madness. Explains everything that's gonna happen. That's the blueprint of it. Oh my god, look how beautiful Miles is. I fucking love you. Fucking love you, Miles. Oh, dude. Sorry.
different projects. With the destruction of the multiverse, Marvel has been setting this up in many different projects. They have specifically explained to us what incursions are. They have explained that if you go into a different universe, it leaves a bad footprint and it destabilizes and confuses that universe until the point an incursion is caused. And
so even if you just tap in for a bit, so definitely Cap's gonna start the greatest incursion. What? Because if he lives there with Peggy in the main universe, or an alternate universe where he never exists, that still fucks up because you're more stability in that universe. You fucked everything up, and to have a kid with somebody, that's the craziest incursion, anomaly, anachronism. What's the one that said in Spider-Verse? What's the one term? Anomaly, right? That has to be the craziest shit. Anachronism, like Legends. And people said, what if he caused the multiverse to collapse and why he's the main incursion type B? So he has to go back to the time where he did it. Because they went back in time anyway, the first time they did it. So they fucked up, but the incursion is when he fucked that shit up type B. So what if they are getting fucked off that?
What an incursion is, for those who don't know, is where two universes collide into each other, Earths being the focal point, so the two Earths collide into each other. And we also know that they're adapting the Time Runs Out story for this movie, where it's all about incursions, where at the end, when you get into Secret Wars, there's only a handful of universes left, and they all die. The entire multiverse gets destroyed. Doctor Doom ends up saving one thing, and that is a world he creates, which is called Battle World. It consists of about over 30 different universes mashed into one, which is why we're going to get a lot of variants in this movie.
That map's going to be so sexy.
Doomsday and Secret Wars, which I am really excited about. But speaking of incursions, they are really, really important, and they're showing Steve Rogers with his baby, and I believe this was kind of a no-no for Captain America. You see, at the end of Endgame, he was supposed to return the stones and then come back. That was supposed to cause no problems, but he chose to stay back in time. He chose to be with Peggy. Now he has a child that is a child from two different universes.
Ooh.
If you think about it, Steve Rogers is from the main 616 timeline, and wherever he's at here, it creates a new timeline. It is
I don't think it's gonna be 838. It's gonna be too messy with what we have, so it's gonna be another one.
not the same. So technically now we have him from one universe, one timeline, and Peggy from a different one. And their baby is kind of the DNA of both. We have to wonder what that would do to a universe. Would that confuse and destabilize a universe? Would Captain America simply going back in time cause an incursion? Well, according to reports that we have heard, yes. We don't know the exact cause. It most likely is Captain America staying back in time. That's
It was how crazy how the take was for MCU and superhero stories. It was dead as just telling the intro origin stories with Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Iron Man, right? And then it was like aliens come and take the world, superheroes take it over, and Avengers 1. Avengers 2, AI to take over, and then Avengers 3. How look at that crazy jump, bro. Like, yeah, gonna take the whole universe. Yeah, just gone. Half of it actually. And then now we're doing this, like this timeline one was really endgame, and then now this one is insane. How his universe is collapsing on each other is insane. You gotta nail these type of stories because they're like so different to tell. So you nail those, you get the character work, that'll be easy. Loving the characters, telling the right way, that's easy. So just doing this crazy plot is actually, if they can land that shit, it'd be tough.
probably was something he wasn't supposed to do, and this ended up causing an incursion. And according to reports from insiders, this incursion directly affected Doctor Doom and his family. There's going to be a big theme of parenthood and fatherhood in Avengers Doomsday, as you can see here from the very first trailer. We've heard that the Thor trailer is going to be the second one, and he is praying to Odin to help him basically make it out alive so he can be with his daughter, Love. We also have other characters that have children who are going to be very important in Avengers Doomsday, like Sue Storm and Reed Richards. They
damn. Cap, Thor,
have Franklin
Fantastic
Richards,
Four,
their son, who is immensely powerful, as we saw from the Fantastic Four First Steps, but also as we saw from the post-credit scene, Doctor Doom is seemingly going to take Franklin. So again, children seem to be a very big focal point here, and there is a cool theory that Doctor Doom is after.
Oh, I forgot. In Morty, give me Western bacon. I forgot he came for the kid. Going for all these kids, bro? Oh shit! Am I breaking my shit? Fuck. Breaking my mic. I didn't even see that. Come on, Mud. What? What the fuck was that? Fuck is this shit popping? The fuck? I don't lie, bro. This shit was not supposed to be this shit. Holy shit. Now I got the rig, bro. This rig wasn't even rigging. Hold on. We here. We here. That was a delay. What the fuck?
All right, finish the video.
The kids, but we'll
no
get to that
pause.
in just a bit. So Captain America seemingly caused an incursion that might have killed Doctor Doom's family, and that is why specifically
so?
Doom is after Steve Rogers, and that's where I think Loki
That's
comes
fair
in.
villain plot,
Because
though.
if Doom goes after Steve, what is Steve really going to do? We have to ask ourselves. Can Steve Rogers handle Doctor Doom? The answer would be no. Especially if he is a fully powered Doctor Doom with tech and magic, he shouldn't really stand that much of a chance against him. Now, Peggy could get the drop on him and shoot him, but we would assume his armor would be protective against bullets. That's where I think Loki comes in. I actually think Loki tells Steve about Doom before Doom even shows up. That way Steve is prepared, and that way maybe Loki can come back and save him. I don't think Steve would trust Loki maybe at first, but Loki would explain everything, possibly take him to the TVA and say, look, you weren't supposed to go back in time. This caused a bunch of events to happen. This is what's happening now. This guy named Dr. Doom looks like Tony. It's not Tony. He is after you. And so now, basically, it's the threat of the entire multiverse being destroyed that is at stake here. I need your help. Steve is going to want to be with his son or daughter. We're actually not sure at this point in time. But once the threat of the entire multiverse being destroyed really hits Steve, then of course he's going to say, okay, well, I have to join this fight, because if there's nothing left, then I die, Peggy dies, my child dies. So obviously he would join the fight. But I don't think he would trust Loki at first. So I actually think Loki shows up first, warns him about Doom. Doom shows up, and perhaps Loki takes him.
Why does he think Loki's gonna pull up so badly?
Takes him to the TVA, and perhaps a multiversal Avengers team is formed with Steve Rogers at the head. Or Loki could simply take
What if it's so tough?
him to the 616 universe in the current time, where he can meet back up with Sam Wilson and the other Avengers. Now, one thing I will say is we know there's going to be 4 trailers, but we've recently heard from Cryptic HD Quality, a reliable insider, that the third one might actually be an X-Men one and not a Doctor Doom one. And then the fourth one would be the big full-out trailer. I'm all here for it because I really do want to see an X-Men trailer for Doomsday, because that is maybe one of the things
It's the best marketing pitch I can do.
it's definitely one of the things I'm most excited for, but maybe it's the thing that I am the most excited for. So it seems like Doctor Doom is specifically after Steve Rogers because he caused an incursion that possibly caused his universe to be destroyed and his family killed. We've heard that he actually had a wife and a son or a daughter. It's actually said that it might have been a variant of Franklin Richards and Sue Storm that he was married to, and Franklin was his kid in his universe, but they died. Also, at the same time, the threat of the multiverse being destroyed is real, and we do believe that Avengers Doomsday is going to pretty much end like Avengers Infinity War did, with the Avengers losing and
That might be predictable and basic, but am I that mad at it? That plot? I don't know.
Doctor Doom winning. But he saves something. The multiverse gets destroyed, but he saves Battleworld, which again is a combination of a lot of different universes put together, and that's where we go into Avengers Secret Wars. And that movie's
No, that's like, it'll be like Europe. Different countries every 15, 20 minutes.
probably just going to be absolutely insane. We've heard we're actually going to see the perspective of other universes being destroyed in Doomsday by seeing other characters like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. That's obviously not confirmed at this point in time, but it's been reported by reliable insiders. So it's a good chance that that is going to happen. Now, there is a really cool theory that I'll mention, and that is that Doctor Doom is actually collecting children, because these are obviously very powerful children.
Yeah, crazy.
So he's got Franklin Richards, which, Franklin has the ability to create universes in the comics. Actually, after Secret Wars in the comics, where the multiverse is destroyed, Franklin, with the help of some other people, actually rebuilds the entire multiverse. He creates universes, and with the help of his father, with the power of the Beyonders and Molecule Man, they start to rebuild the entire multiverse. So you could see how Dr. Doom would want Franklin. You could also see how he could want people like the Scarlet Witch's children, because we've obviously seen how strong Wiccan is. And Captain America's child, it could be about revenge, but he could also be using him for something very specific. And the same thing goes for the Hulk's child. He's obviously going to be very powerful as well. And Love, Thor's daughter, she was created by eternity, and she has some of the powers of eternity. Obviously, she would be very, I would say, useful to Doctor Doom. The question is, why would he be collecting all of these children? Well, perhaps he needs them and their powers to create kind of the perfect universe that he wants. We've actually heard a lot of Doctor Doom knowing about Kang, knowing what he did, and hating the fact that he built the TVA and kind of altered the main timeline. Doom wanted to seek revenge on Kang, and I bet you he probably gets it.
They can still have King in it, bro. They can still have King in it, please.
And then kind of seeks two things. One, control over everything, which would mean him going against Loki and taking over the TVA for himself. And then two, revenge. Revenge on Steve Rogers for causing an incursion that destroyed his universe and destroyed his family and probably took everything away from him and probably gave him the scar. I would assume. There's a lot of cool theories out there about it.
No, he has to hate Reed, bro. Captain America being the top op of
Dawn, and just let me know what you think about.
Which kind of makes sense if you make him a Robert Downey Jr. variant. That's gonna be so weird. It's a spin, it's a take, bro. It's not the main original shit. That's the comics, yeah, right?
This spin and awesome trailer. It very much is a teaser, to the universe, but if you it brings back all of the nostalgia that we felt before with Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame for me, and it's awesome to see Steve Rogers back. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest Avengers Doomsday videos. And you can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.